Hey everyone, I'm back with video blog number 7 of Board Talks. Today I have Sheila Ward. She's been a member since 2000, so 20 years ago. So tune in and see how it went.
Yes.
So how did you get involved with the Black Women in Sports Foundation?
I was a graduate student at Temple University. I was in the exercise physiology program. And I participated in, Dr. Tina Sloan-Green was the program director for the National Youth Sports Program.
Okay.
And asked me if I would come in and set up the math science. And instead of just doing traditional math and science, if I would relate it to exercise. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. Through the National Youth Sports Program, I got to know Tina, got to know a little bit more about her organization. I would go in and I would do presentations. I would also dance every now and then, do a solo for some of the workshops and conferences that they had. And eventually, between the math science, the exercise physiology presentations, the health promotion and wellness presentations, the dance programs, I was invited to join the board. And I said, yes, yes, yes. And I have continued with those activities with Black Women in Sport Foundation, particularly because it's health related. It's sports as well as health and wellness. And my angle has always been the health and wellness as well as the arts in terms of movement with the dance.
Wow. So you've been in with the foundation for 20 years.
Yes.
So what
yes.
is your main responsibility?
Well, I have done a lot of grant writing. That was a big one. It was a lot of grant writing. There was a big program called the Next Step program, which I authored that program and implemented that program. And that program was with the NCAA. And we set up programs related to professional development for women in sports related fields. And within those sports related fields, we also talked about the need for the women to be able to care for themselves and to take care of themselves. And so the health component was always a big one. So with all of the Black Women in Sports Foundation workshops and conferences, the health component, addressing health disparities, health promotion, health and wellness and exercise in terms of a way to manage as well prevent. And then if you get a chronic condition, to manage that chronic condition.
Right.
These are some of the activities that I engage in.
Okay. So why is the Black Women in Sports Foundation important right now?
The Black Women in Sports Foundation, it has always been relevant. They've always known that they were relevant, and they've always been doing what they have been doing. Society, the environment, the climate has finally caught up to Black Women in Sports Foundation. And so we've always been there. We've always been relevant. We've always been doing what it is we wanted to do, promote Black women, girls in all aspects of sports. And that includes health and wellness. We've always been doing that. But in this moment in time, the world is actually looking at all things of the African diaspora in the United States. So the world and the United States has caught up with what Black Women in Sports Foundation have been doing all along. So we are important and we are relevant because we are a model for what should be doing even when the world is not looking. This is what we should be doing. We should be promoting ourselves, being the best that we can be, so that we can be an asset not only to ourselves, but to our community. And by the community, I mean the world.
Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So with that said, who's an influential Black woman mentor or role model that has influenced in your life?
Who have been the influential women in my life?
Yes.
Well, I will start off first with the women in my family. My mother, my aunts, just watching them navigate and watching them move throughout our families, move out throughout the community. And then I would go to the women that I saw in church. Again, watching those women navigate and move throughout society and move throughout church and present themselves in the choir concerts, in Sunday school, and just being role models and leaders, and dressing up and having on those gloves and having on those hats, seeing all of that beauty. So I would definitely start there. And then we start moving outside of the women that were immediate and influential in my life. And then I go to some of the women, definitely the women of Black Women in Sports Foundation, Tina Sloan-Green, Nikki Frank, Linda Green, just looking at them work and navigate, watching her through several career changes and all of these wonderful high power positions and the people that she knew, and that these women were involved in sports, not only personally, but also with young people in their lives, be it their children or nieces and nephews and so forth. Now, in the dance world, there have been quite a few women that have been role models for me. And we can look at Miss Joan Myers Brown of Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Dance Company. Mama Kariamu. I am a Mufundala certified teacher. Mama Kariamu was very influential, was my mentor through much of that process. Dr. Glendola Yama Mills, I followed her around working on my certification. And I'm also certified in the Dunham technique as well. And in being certified in the Dunham technique, Catherine Dunham, just having a strong, powerful scholar artist, primus, scholar artist, looking at these women. And when I was in college, Iris Rosa, Gwen Ham, these were women, you're just looking at them moving in their space, traveling. I commute to work. And I remember Iris Rosa and both Gwen, they commuted. They had a 45-minute commute.
Wow.
At my job, I had an hour and a half commute, but I had a model for how do you commute? How do you live one place and work another place? Wow. I'm sure I have left someone out, and I apologize for that. But just offhand, the women, very, very influential. And I was able to have them as role models, and very proud to be able to have them as role models.
Wow.
I would say in graduate school, another woman, Jean Temesco. I worked with her doing my dissertation. And so in some of these scholarly activities that I did in terms of, setting up a research project and being in the right place to have people fund different things, and watching her navigate, putting an article together, collaborating with someone to put an article together, actually being a mentor for somebody. If you say that you're going to proofread their paper, truly like proofreading it, and providing constructive criticism, because that's the level where you want the constructive criticism. You don't want to put something bad out there and then have other people talking about it when you had a mentor. So knowing how to be a mentor, especially in academia. So yeah.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. So last question before I let you go. What's your favorite sports memory or moment?
Okay, because I have so many of them. And so I played tennis in high school.
Okay.
And like a lot of African American girls, I was learning to play tennis while I was on the tennis team because I'd never really played it before. And they needed 6 people. You know, you need a team.
Right.
On the tennis team. So they were just like, oh, don't worry about it. You don't have to know how to play tennis. Just come out. We'll show you. We'll teach you. But I was on the tennis team for 4 years and I learned how to play tennis.
Wow.
And I remember we were playing because we were an inner city school and we were playing one of the schools in the counties. And this was after I'd learned to play a little bit, and I became a pretty decent doubles player. And all matches, we had just lost all matches, and our match was the last one going on, and it went into the night. And I remember it went into the night, and they were bringing the cars around with their headlights, and they was just like, no, take that away. It's making it worse. But we finished the match. We didn't win, but it was okay. It was, I mean, we fought hard for it, and we did what we went out there to do.
Right.
Completed the game. We completed the sport. We did sportsmanship. And I remember when I went to college, because I didn't play tennis in college, but I was a health, physical education, and major with an emphasis in dance. So with our activity classes, I was out there and we got down to the sports, and tennis was one of them. And so I was just out there minding my business because they all saw me going to dance class, but I was out there and I was just playing. And the teacher said, "You didn't tell me you were a tennis player." And I said, "No," I said, "I didn't." I said, "But how did you know?" He said, "I could tell by the footwork." And I was like, okay, so I really did learn how to play tennis.
Wow.
So
amazing.
Yeah. But it's always been with me that being a part of a team, I am still close to the members of the tennis team.
I love it.
Some of my dearest friends. And yeah, so we grew up together. So sports, very important. I understand it. The arts, very important. I understand it. And it is definitely worth fighting for. And it is definitely worth keeping. And we know that Black Women in Sports Foundation will be true to its mission. And so we don't have to worry about that not happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully everybody who's watching appreciate it. But thank you so much, Sheila. And good luck with your dissertation.
You know, I'm great. I'm finished with my dissertation. I am helping others now with their dissertation.
Wow.
But I'm using the principles that I learned in working with the women to be able to work with other young folks coming along, working on their dissertations. So
thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Take care.
No problem. Take care. Well, hope you all enjoyed video blog number 7. Tune in for video blog number 8 really soon. Take care. Be safe. Bye.